Everybody loves dads, stories, and the Marine Corps. What could be better than Marine Corps dads who tell stories? Here's another story with veteran storyteller John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad.
Tonight, we're going to tell the story of Mommy's Evil Tomatoes. Once upon a time, there was a mommy. And mommies, as they grow, because mommies grow and learn, they go through phases, much like the moon. And mommies tend to go through a sourdough phase, where they make all kinds of things with sourdough. And they have to feed the sourdough, which is a monster story all on its own. Why does the dough eat? Then, mommies go through a chicken phase and a garden phase and a I'm going to mill my own wheat stage. Well, this particular mommy started her garden phase, and she went to the store and purchased plants. And those plants died. Please do not spew whatever's in your cup all over me. Mommy murdered those plants. And so Mommy went back to the store, and Mommy looked up articles on how to make soil give birth to plants. And Mommy watched videos, and Mommy watched podcasts, and Mommy went into mommy groups on Facebook and read the comment sections to find out how they planted seeds and killed plants. And finally, Mommy got tomato seeds. But she got tomato seeds from the wrong bag. And Mommy went into the backyard, and she planted the tomato seeds. And those tomato seeds, surrounded by the corpses of their brethren, grew evil. And if you listen carefully, you can hear them in the backyard. You have to be right next to the window, though. It's hard to hear them sometimes. And so, one night, Mommy heard a noise in the backyard. And Mommy opened the door. And she said, "Honey, did you hear something?" And Honey said, "Do I have to get up?" And Mommy said, "I'll get it, fine." And so Mommy went into the backyard, and the tomatoes saw her. And they said, and Mommy went over to the garden. She wanted to make sure there were no moles in the garden eating her tomatoes. And Mommy walked by the garden, and the tomato poised, ready to leap. And Mommy said, "There's nothing out here." And the tomato said, "Ah!" And as the tomato jumped for Mommy, the vine that the tomato was connected to snatched that tomato back by the top of its head and smacked that tomato's face into the dirt. And it's hard to breathe when your face is in the dirt. And so Mommy went back in the house. And the tomatoes bided their time. Until one day, Mommy looked out and said, "I need to feel accomplished." So Mommy went and picked up eggs from her chickens. She grabbed a slice of bread from her sourdough that she had made. And she said, "You know what would go great with this sourdough? Tomatoes." And Mommy went to the garden. And she picked her own tomato. And she didn't know it was evil. And Mommy brought the tomato into the house. And the tomato's trying not to laugh the whole time, because that would sound weird. And Mommy looked at her tomato that she had given birth to. And Mommy said, "I'm going to take a bite of this tomato." And the tomato said, and Mom brought the tomato to her mouth. And the tomato said, but he said it in tomato, so you can't understand it. And Mommy opened her mouth and brought the tomato and put it in her mouth. And Mommy said, and then some kid said, "Mom!" And Mom put the tomato down. "Yes, dear." And it was some dumb question. The child left satisfied, and Mommy picked up the tomato, and she brought it close to her mouth. "Mom!" And she almost smashed the tomato onto the table. But she remembered that tomatoes are very fragile. So she gently set the tomato down. And the tomato said, "Really?" So Mom took care of that dumb question. And Mommy snatched up the tomato and brought it to her mouth. And the tomato said, "Mom!" And the tomato said, "Really? What?" But no one speaks tomato. Finally, all the dumb children had been appeased. And it was just Mom and her tomato that she had grown herself. And Mom picked up the tomato. And the child saw. And the child started running. So Mom rushed it. And Mom bit in the tomato. And evil tomato juice squirted out of the tomato and hit Tally in the eye. And Tally said, "Ow!" and hit the refrigerator. And was on the floor. And Mom stood there with a bite taken out of her tomato, looking down at Tally. And the tomato said, because the tomato was evil. The end.
That was another story with John Shurker Jr., a Marine Corps dad. Check the show notes for links to his Patreon and website at creativegrumbles.com.